Hello, this is John Spielman with the latest version of my latest column, which is for Sunday, the 3rd of December, 2023, and I've called it Major and Minor. Yesterday I was playing Blitz in the UK Blitz. I won it last year. Yesterday I played like a total prat, so I lost lots of games. Not very pleased with myself, but there we are. Playing Blitz is one of those things where either your hand communicates with you or it doesn't. Communication was definitely somewhat flawed yesterday on many occasions. Anyway, here we are, and I've called it Major and Minor because it's about endings with major pieces, a major piece and a minor piece each. And I started a week and a bit ago, actually last Thursday, so the Thursday before, a couple of days ago, I played a London League game with a guy called Andrew Lewis, who's a very good FIDE master. We've played some games before with Honours Even, and we played this game. I got the advantage out of the opening, but I messed it up a bit. In the end I won, but I was pretty lucky because there was a moment when I was nearly worse. Well, I would have had to defend myself. But it had this position we reached eventually, which was here. And the question is, here I played Bishop f8. Can you see why this was a mistake? Allowing a nice resource and pretty difficult. This superb tactical sequence which engines point out. I can take out that P, can't I, while I'm here, I suppose. Point out to give black a clearly winning position. Very nice. I mean, so there's a sequence where if white follows what he wants to do, which is to get the knight to f6, then he simply loses. And it's not that easy to see, I would say. Really isn't. So anyway, we'll do that. So what happened was I then went through my database, which is about 2,650 games or something. There are a lot of games I played when I was a kid. I have some score sheets, I haven't bothered to put them in, but also, unfortunately, I lost some of my score books at some stage when we moved house, which is a shame because, well, I could try, I suppose, set up an appeal, find the Sprog games or something. Anyway, of those, when I stuck in Rook and one minor piece each and the Search Mask and Chess Base, I switched to 17, by the way. I was using 15, but I think using 15 and 17 on the same database, going backwards and forwards, upsets it. So I have finally switched to 17, as you'll see when I go to Chess Base. And I found about 400 of them with a rook and a bishop. And then rather than going through all 400, which would have been a bit tedious, I remembered some. I remembered an ending I had with Mark Hebden years and years ago. It was actually, I knew it was a British Championship in Brighton. Apparently it was 1980, actually. Where we had a big battle, and eventually I had a rook and a bishop and 2 pawns against a rook and knight. But because my king was in the back rank, he was trying to beat me still. And eventually I managed to win, but it was pretty close. And very near the end he missed a draw. My memory was that I'd played really well. I know I worked really, really hard in the game to try to keep control. So I was a little disappointed to find that actually the machine goes, beep, you're a bit of an idiot, aren't you, mate? Beep. But there we are. That's what normally happens when you ask engines anything, isn't it? They tell you how stupid you are. And then I've added some other games of mine with a rook and a minor piece each. There's a very well-known drawing mechanism with a rook and knight each, or rook and knight, where you give perpetual check, which everybody should know. If you don't, then it's really worth knowing. And then a couple of games. There's a game with Julius Sachs, which I've used here before, which I just chucked in because it's there. It's in. And then there's a game with a guy in the Bundesliga a few years ago. Here's number 17. And what's the guy's name? Yesilev, I think. Yelisiev. Yelisielev. Sorry, got his SNL the wrong way around. Where I eventually beat him in quite a nice ending with a rook and knight against a rook and bishop. So let's get to it. We'll start with the game with Andrew Lewis, and we start in the diagram. I played bishop f8, and the problem with that, it went f3, rook to there, knight, king up. So I get my pawn up, and I go there, and he gives check, and I go here, and I'm thinking this is okay, he'll go knight e8, and I'll win soon. And he played the excellent move knight h5 check, and I was quite cross with myself. What I should do here is to play king h8, rook a8, pawn takes knight, rook takes bishop with check, king g7, rook a8, rook takes pawn, rook takes pawn. I'll do it. What I should do is to go here. Well, and then he's just in time to get his king across. Crucial he gets his king in front of the pawn. If he doesn't, if he gets the rook in front of the pawn, then he might be in trouble. It depends how far my king is up the board, of course. Maybe you could even do that and go and take it because my king's so far back. Anyway, what actually happened was I thought, oh, I'm being clever, and I did that. And I thought, there's no way his rook can get back. And he believed me and played g6, which is what I was expecting. But we both completely missed rook f6, which just gets the rook back to a6. Now I have to make a draw. To be a little bit careful. Bishop to there, rook to there, bishop to there. If f4 I play f5, or I can do this first. And king to there, pawn to there. And this is a draw. It's a very easy draw, I think, because you can't get the king over up the board. But still, I would have looked jolly stupid and been extremely cross with myself. What actually happened was he played g6 as expected. I took some time to realise that if f6 rook takes pawn, then he gets his rook round to a7 with tempo. So really my brain wasn't in proper operation at this point. Should go king e3. I mean, it's better. He should lose, but would be better. He actually started walking over. He had no time, poor guy. And here he lost on time. But well, after king takes pawn, I'm going to win fairly easily. I'm going to advance my pawns. I don't know exactly how far, and then find some way to win. So it clearly is winning at this stage. But I didn't do it very well, and it just reminded me. So I haven't shown you that the whole point is the interesting thing is bishop d6. So if he goes knight f3, I just play rook f4, and we play chess. And basically, I should be able to win eventually. With a rook and a pawn on a3, we'll get to some sort of winning ending. It may take a little bit of work, but nothing too serious, I would think. I can't believe it's going to be difficult. But, so f3 is the move he wants to play. But then I play rook e1 check. I'd seen that was legal, but I hadn't seen that it did anything sensible at all. Incidentally, if I'd gone check and rook e5, I suppose you'd go rook a8 check, because rook takes pawn check. I think there is still rook g4, but that's the only move actually. So I'm just saying if what am I talking about? I'm talking crap. Right. So bishop to here, pawn to there, check to put his king on f2. And then here. And it was only when the engine did this that I understood what it was doing at the time. So he's got to play knight g4, and now I have this glorious move. And somehow, by hook or by crook, I've managed to get my rook behind the pawn. And he's basically lost now. With the rook behind the pawn, it's going to be lost. Not too difficult either, I would think. He can play knight f6 check. I just play king f8, rook to there. Rook b5, I don't even have to do anything. I just get my king out. And I go bishop b7. And even if I ended up playing bishop takes knight now, there would be no big problem. Probably tries rook b5 or something. Why has it suddenly put... Knight e4, I said, so rook to there. And, okay, he's threatening mate in 2 moves, but I might notice on a good day. I can probably go bishop takes knight and king e8 if I want to. That must work easily. Bishop takes, pawn takes, king to there. I mean, you can try to give check here, check here, check here, or something. There's nothing. Great interest here. Check here. Whatever. I mean, I just get my king on the board. There's not going to be a problem with rook e7 ever because I can defend my rook. And once his rook's on a2, then I go and take everything. So just a very nice sequence indeed, which the engine told me. So this is the game with Hebden. I can remember how hard the ending was in this far-off game, but nothing much else. And I've misspelt everything possible, more or less. Misspelled ending and misspelled else as well, haven't I? How lovely. Okay, because we might at least have the first note of the game. So, some sort of pits. He got a lot of white squares. I seem to have, I don't know how this position was earlier on. Obviously d5 is a very valuable move. It stops the knight getting in. Game continues merrily. I don't know, he's probably trying to win. Mark normally tries to win a great deal, which is rather impressive. Apparently I should have gone bishop f8 now to keep my h-pawn, but I didn't. I don't know, we played some moves. Round about here I'm sure he's trying to beat me still. Could just go d4, he'd be absolutely fine. I mean, I can go check and take his h-pawn or something, but I mean, there's no danger because he gets the a-pawn, and but he played this. And now I do have... Okay, I can't... I should have gone a5 apparently. Because basically what I do is I just sit here and I can't go and take his h-pawn, but he can't play h6. So he's in deep trouble, apparently, which wasn't particularly obvious to me. What happened was we went here. I've not done this very well. Bishop b8, I think. Should I have done that? Says king b7, king b7, to there, bishop to there, rook takes, pawn takes. Well, I've got winning chances, but it's not much fun. At least my king's off the bat rank is the main thing. Round about here he's actually okay, I think. I've managed to just about keep control. A lot of tactics going on, of course, as always. So now I've got rook and 2 pawns, which is very nice, but it's still a fight because he's got such good pieces. I don't suppose, yeah, I went there. Apparently I should have gone to d7, rook a1, king e6. And this position is actually a draw, I think, at this stage. I get in c4. And now I have to put my king on this stupid square, which is not nice. I have rook to there, luckily. King d8, stockfish, okay. I put rook there, which is a mistake. And now he should have gone, knight e4 is a blunder. He should have gone rook c8 and rook back, and apparently it's just a draw, which wasn't particularly obvious to me. If king f8, why don't we try king g7 here? I suppose, well, we're playing king g7 now, because if knight takes, there's rook checks. Oh, I see, knight takes, rook checks, king to here, rook takes, king to there equals, because you cannot protect that pawn. Okay, so But knight e4, I'm finally managed to get my pieces working. He can't play knight takes pawn because of rook d6 check when he can't get back. So now rook takes that. He could play. Why doesn't he play king f5 here? Is that stopping being interesting? Do I go? How do I do this? Asking the great engine. King f7, right? Oh, I see. And now knight takes rook c1, knight e4, f1 check. That's very rude, isn't it? I see. That's really quite hard, isn't it? So knight takes rook to there. So if rook takes bishop, is that not? Rook takes bishop here. Then rook f1 check. King to there, rook to there check. God, there's a lot of tactics, isn't there? King f5, king f7 takes rook to there. If knight a4, I've also got rook f1 check. Same thing. So that's really quite hard. Obviously I was, but he went there, and now I played the excellent move king g7, and he's pinioned basically, and I'm winning this now. He maybe even resign. King f5 check. So after king f5, so if rook c5, I go check and rook e5 check, and that's easy. So if rook to there, check here, just check, and otherwise it's easy enough. Yeah. So very hard game, and now rook f1 check is the point, because now after king e6 I play c2. I don't play pawn takes rook. Rook to there, pawn equals queen, take, 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 rook to there, check, or indeed rook e1 check. So very, very complicated tactical ending, which I thought I'd played well until I asked Stockfish a few days ago, and it said, "Ping, you're an idiot." No, it didn't, but it wasn't very impressed. So then we've got this game with a guy in Hastings. That's when I was still 2470. I've got a bit more than that at the moment, but it's taken a while to get back. Okay. I played this one, did I? I used to like playing this one. That doesn't look great, does it? Oh, I missed bishop b7, didn't I? That was not good. That was not good. Oh no, that was not good. And I went into hack mode, of course, as one does. Managed to hack a little bit. You have to do this to... This is not a great game by me, is it? Rook to the 7th. I've got a counter-attack, nothing else to do. Obviously, it could play a move like... Well, but he gets on with it. My problem here is that if rook d1... At the moment, he goes king g2. Now, if I go knight f3, he plays rook a8 and laughs at me. And I lose horribly, so I had to go rook to there to threaten rook takes rook and knight to there. He goes e4. If he goes b6, rook takes rook, king takes rook, knight f3, maybe I'm just about managing to draw. So if you went b6, let's ask the engine, b6, rook takes rook, king takes rook, knight to there, which threatens perpetual check, e4, pawn takes pawn. Can he go knight g2 now, maybe? Can he go knight g2 in this position? What happens after knight g2? Oh, then I can do my perpetual like this. That's right. So this is a draw, because I've got rook e1 mate at the moment is his problem. So if he goes b7, he actually gets mated. It's interesting. Okay, so b6 doesn't work. Is that right? G5. Sorry. b6, rook takes f1. Yeah, I mean, he can give checks, but it doesn't help. What about if he goes king g2? Rook to there, knight to there, knight to there, check, draw. That's another draw. Lots of draws. But he went e4, pawn takes pawn. And here, rook f1, king takes knight, king f8. And now he should have gone... what should he have done? Knight f6 just wins. No, he went knight f6, that's forced. e3, pawn takes pawn h5. He was in time trouble, he now blundered with b6. And the reason he blundered is he forgot that there was also a perpetual check. Because of the pawn on e3, there's also a perpetual check with rook to d1 to d2. He should have just gone knight e4, rook b2. Okay, I'm lost now. I'm completely lost. So it was a bad time scramble. Here, and his problem is that after knight e4, I just had... Sorry, after knight checks and knight g5, then I have rook to d1 to d2. Because knight takes pawn check, of course, doesn't work anymore, and knight takes knight would lose to b7. But I have the other perpetual. And so I managed to draw. And this is a very important perpetual mechanism with the rook and the knight on d2 and f3. It works because if the king goes in the corner, you have rook h2 mate. It doesn't work if you move it across the board. If you move the whole board, well, ignoring the a file, one square to the right, as we're looking as black, then after knight it would be g2 check, king d1, knight e3 check. Sorry, knight. The king can just hide on h1 if we and you don't have rook h2 check. Well, you can hide on g1, then rook g2 check, king h1. So there we are. So we drew that. So that was a little escape by me. And there are a lot of tactics actually, aren't there? Then I've got the game with Julius Sachs, which I've given here many times. I was white. It was in an Olympiad. He generally beat me, Jula. First played him actually when he was 16 or 17. He stayed at my mum's because we knew a Hungarian guy, Hungarian Jewish refugee, and he was a member of Hampstead Chess Club, and Jula was playing at the World Junior in Teesside, and this guy arranged for him to stay with us, and of course I demanded to play some blitz for the poor man, and so he did, and he beat me, but I think I did beat him a game, which was nice. I was about 15 or something, so I should be able to win one game on a very good day. Out of a lot of blitz games, I was already a very decent player. This all happened. I think earlier there was a question, do you go e3 or g3? Yeah, I don't know which is better. Let me ask it, Sublime and Glorious Majesty. Which one do you recommend, O Sirrah? g3 you recommend. e4, g3. Don't particularly like. Oh, you're happy. And this is quite a big advantage for white. I've got a lead in development, big lead in development. I just decided to play incredibly tediously. And the thing is that here, because of the game, the very famous game Fischer-Petrosian, I thought of taking his bishop. I might not even have thought of doing so with a knight in such a good square. I don't know if it's a good move. Doesn't seem to think so, probably. Isn't particularly impressed. But there we are. Now I've sort of just about got a big advantage. He went there. Of course, I've always got bishop f1 if he brings his rook to c1. And we got to this position. I think that's not a terribly good idea either, maybe. It says knight b7 is, yeah. because now he gets quite. That's actually, it should be going to c7, and f5 would be better. And round about here, I realised I have to stop his knight coming out, of course, and he gets really bogged down. And finally, I did that, which is a very good move, because now, although I've put my bishop in a very bad square, his knight is terrible. His pieces are more or less totally stymied. So my job now is to try to find a way in on the king side. I don't know if I did this so well. Now I'm definitely winning anyway, because he gets into zugzwang after a bit. h5 I don't think really helps. So I do that. So I'm threatening to go rook h8 with a zugzwang. Yeah, I just go there. Of course, with king h7, king g5 certainly doesn't help him. And now he's in zugzwang. And he tried knight c6. If he goes rook a8, I go bishop b7 takes. Well, he can take and put his knight in c5, but obviously I'm winning. Clearly I'm winning. So he played this. And the reason I like this game, I played bishop e6, and of course he resigned. What I, because after takes, I just bring my king back. Bishop takes, pawn takes, king goes and takes the b pawn. But Jonathan Mestel, after the game, pointed out a much prettier win, very pretty win. Sorry, not bishop e6, bishop a6, b3, check here, here. Then I can go up a staircase, down a staircase, I don't know, down a staircase I suppose. And I managed to take the pawn with check. And I wouldn't have done that to Jula anyway, even if I'd seen it, because I liked him, and you know, I don't see, there's no reason to be unnecessarily pretty against somebody you like when you can finish the game with a single move. I think it's a bit sadistic. So I wouldn't have done that. But it's very lovely. I would have been pleased if it had been me who'd pointed out the sequence rather than Jonathan. Right, this is on the bus to the game, Mohamed Tabatabai, who's now playing in London at the moment. He was my teammate in the Bundesliga, and he said, why don't you do this in this position? So I thought, okay, I'll do it. One thing I can do, I'm adaptable. I can very quickly... I mean, there have been many games with knight c3. Richard Rapport pioneered this a bit, and I said other people... Rapport, Grischuk and Vallejo are three of the people who played this. Obviously there are other ways for white to play, and for black as well. So I had to lose a tempo with my bishop, but I'm winning the d5 pawn back. And this is slightly better for white, maybe. I don't know, it's about equal perhaps. But it started, once I get control of d5, it's quite nice. There are quite a lot of little tactics which you have to be careful about. After knight f5, I said knight d5, queen d8. I mean, queen g3 is very... If you go there, here, takes. You should take with the bishop. I was looking at this, thought that would be better, but actually in this position, there's this, and white wins. Ping, says the engine, and you go, oh yes, master, you are correct. You are great. Silicon is great, is it not? There's nothing to be done. So, have to take with the bishop. Anyway, this happened, and I started to unravel. I had to be careful for a while, but it's all starting to be fine. Once I get in king f8, it's getting much better, much more comfortable. Knight to there. I don't think f3 wasn't a great move. I think it just weakened him. And at this stage, you're starting to get the advantage. I think even now, actually, the engine doesn't care that much. Should take with the bishop. Now he's got a bad square in c3. And finally I'm starting to get... Can't go knight takes d6 because of... I think if knight takes d6 I play rook c2, do I? What do I do? Something... Oh, bishop f3 check, of course, sorry. Of course. Right, excuse me, sorry. I haven't looked at this game for a while. Knight e7, and now I just about managed to get my pieces sorted. And he's got weak pawns, so it's not very nice. That's a good move. Here, g6, hitting control. And it's got very unpleasant now, due to the b3 pawn. And here he should have stopped me from getting to c7, shouldn't he? That's right. I did that, and I got in... I think he should have gone bishop b5 at some moment. Once I get to here, it's getting very nasty. Now there is an interesting line. There's rook e5. I was calculating this during the game. Knight to there, takes, because if he goes takes, check here, 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 knight to there, king c5 takes, and actually push, knight, king, push, knight, and I'm winning easily because I'll make a pass pawn on the king side. But obviously during a game you're not so sure. Now I get my knight to e6, which is glorious, and now I'm in control. Now he really should have gone h4 now, when it's quite complicated. King to here, bishop to there, knight to there, rook to there. It says bishop d1. Rook e8, which I didn't see, is actually winning. Well, I did see, but I couldn't tell. Rook e8 here. Take, bishop, knight, knight, bishop, knight. And now his king starts to come round. It's the best he can do. And this is a race, actually. I would much prefer it. I can't go king. Presumably he can't go king c4 because I give check and take. And I must be in time. But he goes away and we play some ending. And obviously I have a passed pawn, but he's got a bishop, and in fact I'm winning. And I give screeds and screeds of analysis here to show that that's winning. God, enormous quantities. Anyway, he played terrible move, bishop c2, and now I break his pawns up. Should never have allowed me. He tried f5, rook to there, f4, bishop to there, rook takes pawn, and basically he's not got a chance here. Bishop, rook to there. Can he try bishop g4 here? No, because I play f5 and knight takes d4, don't I? Now I played a good move to get his bishop out of the way, and this is all pretty horrible. Yeah, I think at this stage. And that's just over. Oh, he just knight f7 as well, presumably. Doesn't matter. So he does get, and I found the most sensible way to do this. Okay, obviously I'm winning by a million tempi, and I actually mated him, and we stopped. So quite a good game by me, quite a good ending. Right, so these are very difficult, these things, and I did say something in the introduction which I've forgotten. The point is, with a rook and a minor piece each, there's enough material for lots of tactics, up to and including mating attacks. But there's also sufficiently small amount of material on the board that in principle you should be able to calculate it reasonably well. If you really concentrate, if you're a strong player and you really concentrate, you should be able to get some reasonable lines. You may, of course you'll miss things, but you have a chance. And that's why they're so very difficult. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this. I don't know if you're watching the London tournament, which is on at the moment. What have we got here? Yep, we got the London tournament with the London Classic. It's closed to the public, but you can watch it online at various places. And very strong tournament. Top seed is Gukesh, and he's one of 3 leaders, I think, after the first 2 rounds, which is why I'm doing this on Sunday before the round. Okay, I'm going to stop now. I hope you've enjoyed this. Let me go again and check I am recording and scream if I'm not. And I am recording, and now I'm not. Cheers. See you in a fortnight, which will be the 17th of December, I presume.